Good afternoon, all of you. At the outset, I thank Amaravati team for giving me opportunity to talk on the topic of the HTP Justosi score that is of the prediction of hypertensive disorders in pregnancy. Have you all settled? Boluka? Right. Okay. So we all know that hypertensive disorders in pregnancy are the major complications, and that is main cause for the maternal morbidity and mortality. And it was taught to us in our college कि जो कुणी या प्रेडिक्शन वरती काम करेल हायपरटेन्सिव्ह डिसऑर्डर्स इन प्रेग्नन्सीच्या त्याला म्हणे राणीने एक मुकुट ठेवला आहे आणि तो मिळू शकतो. आणि मग त्यानंतर बऱ्याचशा वेगवेगळ्या टेस्ट आल्या आणि नन ऑफ द टेस्ट वॉज प्रूव्हन टू बी इफेक्टिव्ह ॲज अ प्रेडिक्टिव्ह मेथड. आणि मग अशा वेळेला वी स्टार्टेड इन दिस आणि हा जस्टोसी स्कोअर तयार केला. We all know HDPs is the major cause of maternal morbidity and mortality. 19% of the maternal deaths are due to hypertension in pregnancy. We know the magnitude of the problem. So if in India we see 26 million deliveries per year, we are dealing with 26,78,000 cases of preeclampsia and 4,94,000 cases of eclampsia yearly. So definitely it is a gigantic task. And then the challenges in the prediction method and in the management, if we see, there is a lack of awareness of this condition, the low socio-economic status. May I request those who are talking kindly give us certain respect. Nikhil, can you please?
Hello.
Not only me, because we should give some respect to the topic as well, kindly. So lack of awareness of this condition, low socio-economic status, lack of modalities of the risk identification, lack of expert antenatal care, scarcity of HDUs, and all these issues have been created a huge unmet need in recognizing and managing HDP and its complications. So is there a need for universal screening? Because till date we all were saying ki prediction of preeclampsia, but now we have introduced this term that screening should be done and it should be universally. So considering the magnitude of mortality and morbidity associated, there can be no two opinions regarding early and universal screening of these conditions. Why do we want to screen? Careful surveillance and prophylactic measures can be taken. Is screening possible? Effective screening methods have still eluded us, and ideally, what is the screening method? Screening method म्हणजे अशी मेथड की जी आपल्याकडे येणाऱ्या सगळ्या प्रेग्नंट वुमनना आपल्याला ती अप्लाय करता आली पाहिजे. इट हॅज टू बी कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव्ह, इझिली अवेलेबल अशी पाहिजे. सो वेन वी कन्सिडर, in between came the Doppler. Initially came the maternal risk factors. All of you, many of you I have distributed this and I will distribute it later on as well. So if you see maternal risk factors, they were considered and still considered even by NICE guidelines, by American guidelines, Australian guidelines, and even by WHO. But some of the guidelines, they are now saying that it is the uterine artery Doppler as well as the biomarkers. They all should be used, especially combined use should be done for the screening of the hypertensive disorders of the pregnancy. There is no doubt about the increased sensitivity and specificity of these factors over the maternal risk factor and MAP, that is the mean arterial pressure. But if we see the cost, do you know what is the cost? चलो मैं मेरे छोटे गांव का लेता हूँ कि if I want to do the uterine artery Doppler, it is 1500 रुपया. If I go for biomarkers, both the PLGF and PAPA, the cost goes up to 4,500. So 6,000 का screening करना है of every pregnant woman. The study which recommended was a ASPRE study which did the job of 26,991 women. And into 6,000, the cost come to 15 crore 84 lakh 15,600 rupees. That is just for screening. So it is not possible in India. Total मी मगाशी सांगितलं की we have to deal with 4 lakh women in Maharashtra. So गुडीले जर 6,000 केलं तर आपली एक अख्खी पंचवार्षिक जाईल त्याच्यावरती only on screening of for the hypertensive disorders. So we thought, why not to simplify it? This was the study. I am not criticizing the study, but that is not possible in India. Even till date, American guidelines says that it is not possible for America to invest such money on the prediction of hypertensive disorders. So India ka chodo. And so we thought, okay, let us make something special and very easy. So those clinical factors which they are there already in the American college guidelines, they are almost 15 in number. They say that 2 moderate and 1 mild or 2 high risk factors, and we have to start 81 milligram of the aspirin, they say. While NICE guidelines say when there are presence of 2 moderate and 1 minimum or 2 high risk factors, then let us start 75 milligram of the aspirin. These are the indications. What I have done in this, it is given there, it is a simplified quantification of all these factors. And those factors which were not considered by them, we have considered. When we talk of hypothyroidism, we always say that why the women in India should be screened for hypothyroidism? Because of 3 P's. One is preeclampsia, one is PIH, and one is pregnancy loss. Because the risk of preeclampsia in hypothyroid patient, it rises by 35%. In GDM, in pregestational diabetes, over diabetes, the risk doubles. That means those factors, they were not considered by RCOG, NICE or ACOG. We have considered them as well. And we have done a simple quantification. What we have done? Those factors who are little low risk factors, that means giving the risk of 10 to 15%, we have given score 1. Those who have this, please see. The factors who have, I have distributed, I will just distribute to rest as well. The risk factors which are more than 20 to 30%, the score is been given 2. And the risk factors which are more than 35 or 40%, if they are increasing the risk of preeclampsia or HDP, the risk score is given 3. And we tell that even my nurse can do this because this is just a simple history taking. So for this, there is no need of expertise and no need of additional 15 crore on the expertise training. So it is the simplest method. And it is not only, this is accepted in FOXI, ICOG, new just good clinical practice recommendations 2019. So it is definitely genuine, and now it is available on net on the FOXI website. So once the score is 3 or more than that, we label that woman as at risk of preeclampsia. For example, if she is primigravida, her score is 1. If her mean arterial pressure is more than 85, her score is 1. And if she is having mild maternal hypothyroidism, her score is 2. So total Justosi score becomes 4. That means she is at risk to develop preeclampsia. Let us start 75 milligram of the aspirin and 1 gram of the calcium, and we can prevent preeclampsia. Then what about ecosprin? In many lectures you might have heard, now it is 150, 150. Who says? It's only one guideline and it is only one paper. The one paper which was studied on 26,991 women, where only 752 women, they were given ecosprin, that too of 10 countries, म्हणजे 70 per country, and we are applying those guidelines to whole world. How is it possible? It is not possible. If we see the papers of aspirin, there are total 87 papers on the aspirin. Out of that, only 3 papers, they are there on 150, out of which 2 papers say that there is no statistical significant difference. Only 1 paper says that there is a statistical significance difference. While the rest, all 82 papers says that, yaar 75, 81 chalega. In fact, maximum of the papers, they have shown that the dose which is required to reduce, inhibit the thromboxane A2 without We all know what is the main etiology for preeclampsia. It is the defective trophoblastic invasion. When the wave takes place, 8 to 10 weeks, first wave, and second at the initiation of the second trimester. So if we start aspirin there, probably this is going to affect and not increasing the dose. So it is the early starting of the ecosprin along with 1 gram of the calcium, probably that is going to give a very good effect if we use it in a proper way. Why to use again 75? At the dose of 75 milligram, it inhibits thromboxane A2 without altering secretion of endothelial prostacyclin. The optimum dose of aspirin is still unclear, everybody says. Studies have used 60, 75, 100 and 150. Patients exposed to doses over 100 milligram, they are very less. Safety of the higher doses is yet to be confirmed. Even those studies who have used 150 milligram of the aspirin, at the end they says that we have not studied the secondary outcomes in a proper way. So they have not studied the safety of the 150 milligram in neonates in a proper way by the proper methodology. So then before using 150 milligram, we have to be very careful when we are using it as an indication for prevention of preeclampsia. That is my sincere request. WHO guideline says calcium should be used in the low resource settings of the for the calcium eating. Definitely all India. आता साधा ॲनिमियाचं स्क्रीनिंग आपण आपल्या इथे केलं तरी वी मे गेट द काय इन्सिडन्स ऑफ ॲनिमिया मे बी 10 to 15% इथल्या इथे. वी हॅव डन ॲट मेनी कॉन्फरन्सेस फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. मग आपल्या जनतेचं काय. सो तसंच आहे त्या कॅल्शियमच्या डाएटबद्दल. सो 1 to 1 ग्रॅम एक छोटीशी 225 मिलीग्रॅमची कॅल्शियमची गोळी देऊन इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प अस. कॅल्शियम हॅज टू बी गिवन. Chalo, forget about the prevention of preeclampsia. If we see the PSM guidelines, it is given in pregnancy the requirement of the calcium is 1 gram. So 500 milligram in the morning, 500 milligram in the evening. Aspirin to be given at bedtime, 75 milligram along with 1 gram. Definitely it is going to prevent. So in what I'm talking about this Just-O-C score, it is a practical clinical method. It is simple, feasible quantification, as I said. Again, the beauty of this score is that it is dynamic. Last one slide or last 1 minute only. All those predicting methods, they are saying that do it at 12 to 13 weeks and khatam. This is not the case with this score, because we are telling that please calculate mean arterial pressure again and again at every visit. So the moment if she is having Just-O-C score 2 and her mean arterial pressure next visit is more than 85, at that time she will become Just-O-C score 3 and she is becoming high risk for the development of preeclampsia. So from that time onwards even we can add 75 milligram of the aspirin. So I think please go through this document. Personally, I am going to distribute it all of you after my lecture. मैंने कर दिया बराबर टाइम का, तो मेरा हो गया है. And the very important honest request to all of you की प्लीज स्क्रीन प्रत्येक वेळेला आपण हायफाय गोष्टी आल्या किंवा वेस्टर्न वर्ल्डमधून आल्या की त्यांनी खूप फॅसिनेट व्हायची काहीही गरज नाही. आपल्या ज्या काही आपल्या सगळ्यात महत्त्वाची डॉक्टर उषा सरे यांचा हा सगळ्यात मोठा स्टडी होता की ज्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी या क्लिनिकल रिस्क फॅक्टरचं किती महत्त्व आहे हे सांगितलेलं आहे. सो प्लीज गो थ्रू दिस, प्लीज युटिलाइज इन युअर प्रॅक्टिस, प्लीज क्रिटिसाइज. समजा जर हा इफेक्टिव्ह नसेल, नो प्रॉब्लेम, प्लीज क्रिटिसाइज इट. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.
थँक्यू.